You in that.
Whoa!
I wouldn't do that to you.
You have done that to me.
No, I haven't. Have I?
With the pellet gun.
That was an airsoft gun and it hit you in the leg. Quit being such a... Shall we cook? So today I want to do something fun. I want to do a little throwback Thursday for all of you guys out there. So I kind of knew I wanted to become a cook when I was really young. My mother is a fantastic cook, and oddly enough, those recipes that I remember from my childhood, the ones that meant so much, weren't the ones that she did really like amazing food, which she does all the time. It was actually the simple stuff. It's the first things that I learned how to make. So I wanted to take it back. We're going old school, CJ.
Can we have like a Throwback Thursdays thing?
Throwback Thursday! So today I want to show you guys how to make a taco salad, but this is full on old school Nate's childhood, 8-year-old Nate, one of the first things I ever learned how to make. So let's jump right in. I'm starting with some 90-10 ground beef. Now we want to have some fairly lean ground beef. So I've got my air fryer on medium-high heat. We're gonna take our ground beef right down. We're good. We're gonna give this a nice chop. And we're gonna add some of one of my new favorite seasonings, the tequila lime. Obviously we didn't have the tequila lime seasoning when I was 8, but we have it now. We're gonna elevate just a little bit. So I'm gonna go with some of the tequila lime. And if you haven't had this yet, this is so good. You guys can find this at Walmart or on blackstoneproducts.com. We're gonna go right over the top of our ground beef. We're gonna be a little generous with it, and I'll tell you about that in just a little bit. So, I mean, that's pretty generous, right, CJ?
That is.
Fairly.
You're a generous man. You're a giver.
You know me.
You're
you
a
know
giver.
me. Give this a nice little chop. Now, this is a really quick meal, so if you're talking like a weeknight quick fix, this is your go-to. This nice little chop, spread it out, and let it go. Let's get back over to our cutting board and do the rest of it. I'm gonna start with my red onion. We don't need a ton. Now, I'm just doing a nice tiny little dice here. Just like that. But somebody was asking a question about which onions are best, and red onion shines when it is raw. So we're not going to be cooking this at all.
Is that because it's mild or it's more sweet?
You know, honestly, the yellow sweet onions have a lot more sugar, so when you caramelize it, the flavor actually changes. With red onions, it's more of a texture change than a flavor change. Although I will say the only time I ever cook, only time I ever cook with red onion is when I'm doing bacon jam, which we haven't done a video on that.
Sounds good.
We need to.
Okay.
I've got a little bit of tomato. Let's give our beef a flip real quick. Oh yeah, we want a little bit of caramelization. We don't want to dry it out. Remember, this is 90-10, so we don't have all of that fat. So we want to cook it fast. And we want to cook it so it has just a slight little bit of caramelization. Actually, where we are right now, I don't know if you can see that, CJ, but we're like 90% almost cooked. So real quick, we're going to take a lime, give this a nice roll. Rolling the lime helps us loosen up the juice on the inside. It gives us a better squeeze.
It's a better squeeze.
We're back. So we're gonna give that a roll, cut it in half, and give it a squeeze over the top of our beef. Now this is gonna caramelize and reduce because of that natural sweetness, that tart sweetness in lime. So those sugars will caramelize just a bit, adding a lot of flavor and also adding a good bit of color, because as it caramelizes, it starts to get golden and beautiful. So flavor and texture all day long. Well, can you smell that, CJ?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that lime juice mixed with that tequila lime. It's like lime overload, buddy.
Is there such a thing as lime overload? I don't know if there is.
Not for me.
No, not for me either.
We don't need a ton of this. We just want to have a nice, fun little topping. If you wanted to, you could do salsa instead of fresh tomato and onion. But this is the way Mama did it. So CJ, this is the way I'm gonna do it.
If it's good for Mama, it's good for us.
If it's good for Mama, it's good for me.
Mama said.
Oh, good. Good one.
Yep.
Name that movie in the comments below. Did they hear you?
I don't know.
Same movie, different line?
Oh.
Mama said.
Mama said. Like, that's like 20 lines in the movie.
That's true.
That start that way.
If you don't get it,
though.
you're not a true movie fan. So I'm going to keep everything, like I said, kind of roughly the same shape, nice and small. That looks pretty good. I'm also gonna take some of these jalapenos. Now, absolutely skip this part if you don't like spicy. We're just gonna give this a quick little dressing. CJ, you've seen me do this before with pineapple.
Oh yeah, making that
Oh man,
pickling,
I love
right?
it. Yeah, we're not gonna pickle it. This is more like a dressing, right? So we're just gonna do a very thin slice. This is just to beautify our recipe. I've got red and green. I'm gonna throw this into my molcajete bowl. I love it when Todd says it. Todd like gives it some gusto. I appreciate that. So we're gonna throw these into our molcajete bowl. We're gonna add just a little bit of pineapple juice and some red wine vinegar, just a touch. This is gonna bring out a little bit of the heat, mellow it out a touch, and we're gonna hit that with a little bit of salt. That'll help bring out some of the moisture in there, and a touch of oil as well. It's just kind of like a little vinaigrette. It's gonna really adhere to the peppers and really brighten up the flavor. So we'll let that sit just for a bit while we finish. Let's toss our beef real quick. I can hear the oh, see that? We're getting the color? See it right there? That is the lime juice starting to caramelize on there. That's what I'm talking about. So now this is done. I'm gonna slide this over to the cool side of our griddle so we don't overcook it. I'm gonna show you a fun little trick. I don't know if you ever notice sometimes your food starts to get a little dried out, or it's like on its way to getting dried out. I'm a big fan of beer. So for this specific one, I'm gonna add just a touch of beer over the top. This is gonna maintain some of that moisture in the ground beef, give us a really good texture, good flavor profile, and it's gonna add a little bit of flavor because beer has some delicious flavor. We'll let that sit for just a second. That's looking really good. All right, turn that griddle off. Let that sit for just a minute. We are almost done. This is a quick one, CJ.
Sweet.
You're a quick one.
You got a quick one.
Same actor, different movie.
Dude, now that's fun. Down in the description, folks.
So I'm a big fan of romaine, mostly because it has a really fantastic texture, crunchy texture. So I'm gonna use an entire head, just like this, all the way down to the whites. And something else I like to do, because this is a salad, we don't want to take a bite and have this big, like, you know, this massive piece of lettuce hanging out of your mouth.
I don't know that I would say that's massive.
You want that? You want to eat? What I'm saying is don't do that to your guests. CJ can do whatever he wants. So I'm going to turn it. I'm going to go in the middle. I'm just going to give it a slice right down the middle. That's going to give me smaller pieces.
Yep.
Like
That makes sense.
It's more polite to my dining guests. I've got some black beans and some corn. We're just heating these up. I like to use canned because that's how Mama did it.
That's how
I'm gonna do it. So we have some of that residual heat on our griddle. Throw that down, let it start cooking just a little bit. You know what? We're gonna add a touch more of that seasoning over the top. Where did I put it?
Just do it.
Where'd my seasoning go, man? Flip move. Oh, it was almost. Can I try it again?
Yeah.
Can we replay?
Yep.
Oh, I'm not even trying.
No, you're terrible twice.
I'm gonna add some of the seasoning over the top. We'll give this a little toss. That looks great. That seasoning is crazy good. You can really, once it hits heat, that aroma starts to get super bright. Man, you smell it?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, it smells so good. That's a fun one. Spread that out nice and even. We're gonna heat this up. Only take about 60 seconds. All right, now I need a big, large bowl. We're gonna serve this kind of family style. So this is a fun one to make a big platter, and you're gonna kind of put it on the table and everybody else gets to serve themselves, which is nice. So here is the fun part. Like, we're full on throwback. This is 8-year-old Nate.
This is awesome.
So we're gonna throw some Doritos down to the bottom. I'm actually gonna kind of creep them up the sides. I'll show you how I like to do that. I like to creep the edges up the sides. So I'll take some of the long ones, I'll creep them up the sides like this, just so we have some coverage up the sides of the bowl.
Taking care of the real estate.
Taking care of the Dorito real estate. All right, that looks great. Now we're gonna go with our lettuce over the top. Nice big covering of that. Beauty. Now we're gonna take our ground beef and we'll go over the top. Now this is hot, so we wanna move quick. Otherwise our lettuce will get kind of wilty. So we're gonna go right over the top, just like that. Got a little bit more here. We'll go over. Beauty, just like that. Now we're gonna go with our corn. So let's grab our corn and our beans. Go over the top of that. I like to put my hot stuff down first over my lettuce. Nice and even. Then we're gonna start layering with our tomatoes and our onions. Nice and even over the top. This gives us some fresh bite. Makes it slightly refreshing. Then we are gonna add just a bit of shredded cheese. Actually, I like the Mexican blend.
Oh.
Because it's easy. Does all the work for you,
Does all
CJ.
the work
It's right
for
there
you.
on the package.
It's just there. It's just there on the package saying, hello, if something goes wrong, I'll take care of you.
Over the top with our cheese. The cheese is gonna take care of you? Well, cheese has
something.
yeah, we can do that. Then we're gonna take some of our beautiful jalapeno peppers. Now again, skip this part if you don't like the heat, but I am a fan. So I'm gonna throw some of our peppers around. You could save these for garnish if you wanted, just to put on each individual plate in case some of your family or guests don't like the heat, but I'm a fan. All right, that looks pretty good. Now, last but not least, I don't know what it is, but when I was a kid, my mother swore this was the kicker. This was the thing that made this salad so amazingly delicious. The zesty Italian dressing.
It had to be zesty, right?
Has to be zesty Italian dressing.
Mm-hmm.
That is the kicker. Here we go, right over the top. Want to get a nice coverage so everything gets some flavor. Beauty. And that is it. That is a blast into Nate's 8-year-old past. Can we make a plate? Can I make a plate?
Do it.
I'll make a plate. I don't know how you guys feel about like nostalgia and like recipes that make you think about being young, but I remember being 8, 9, 10 years old, just absolutely falling in love with the idea of cooking for other people and feeding other people. It doesn't matter what the food is, when you cook and you love what you're doing, it's just, it makes me feel good. How about, it makes, CJ's new to this.
Yeah,
Let's be
when I was
honest.
8, 9, and 10, I was watching G.I. Joe and Transformers.
I was cooking with my mom.
Yeah, and I had, the Sword of Omen that gave me sight beyond sight from
Well,
Thundercats.
Good for you, buddy.
I know.
So I like to just go straight down into my bowl, kind of get a little bit of everything, crunch up the chips at the bottom, and right down onto the plate. Can you hear it?
Yep.
Oh man. And also this is something you want to cook and serve immediately.
Yep.
And you could feed a ton of people. And I didn't do the costing. I didn't like fully budget this, but I can't imagine this was more than
What, $15?
maybe. And that's
Maybe. That's with,
yeah.
a full thing of beef, all the lettuce, all tomatoes, a whole thing of dressing.
Couldn't possibly be more than that.
Yeah.
But man, there we go. Check it out. This is a really fun, super fun dish. I'm a big fan. I'm going to get into it because
By all means.
crunch, we have sweet, we have tart, we have savory, we have all these fun flavor characteristics going on. So even though my mom was taking a shortcut when I was little, I took a shortcut today, and if you make it at home, you'll be taking a shortcut. It's a really good one because this dish has lasted a very, very long time in my life. Come on, get in there. Get my lettuce. It's so good.
Dude, I just
Zesty
love
Italian.
those. I just love those simple things, man.
It's zesty Italian. It's gotta be zesty Italian dressing.
That's it.
This is kind of one of those dishes, if you're a mom, you're a dad, you're cooking for your kids, this is a quick 1, 2, 3, simple, easy, ABC. Michael Jackson say?
ABC. It's easy as 1, 2,
Mike,
3.
oh, that was horrible.
That was not bad.
My clapping.
Oh,
Your
the
singing was
clapping
fine.
was terrible.
At least we can agree on something.
Oh, that's right.
So for today's Throwback Thursday, welcome to my childhood. Big thanks to my mama.
Cheers to the throwback Thursday,
Absolutely.
bro.
Big thanks to my mother for teaching me how to cook, just being absolutely awesome. Actually, I forgot. My 3-year-old loves this.
Oh, go get him.
Grab him?
Yeah.
Let me get him.
Uriah, you ready to eat some food, bro?
Sweet. Dude, you want to try the jalapeno? No, you don't. Do you really? It's really hot. I'll give you some of the Dorito and some of the meat and the cheese. All right. You gotta tell CJ what you think.
How good is that food, bro?
Good.
Is it good enough to eat more? Are you gonna make this someday when you have your own cooking show?
You are? That's great. So from my mother to me, and now down to my sweet son, I sound like Desiree.
Yeah.
Having a moment. Thank
this
you
is
for
a
the
family
inspiration,
style.
Blackstone Betty. I appreciate it. This is a really fun one. Take some shortcuts, have some fun, and make some delicious food in a quick hurry. If you guys want this recipe and more, go to blackstoneproducts.com. I'm Chef Nathan Lippy. I'll see you guys in the next video. You want to be in the next video?
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to cook?
Chick-fil-A.
He wants to cook Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
You want Chick-fil-A?
Sweet, it's not seafood, so that's great.
You know what? We will work on a Chick-fil-A recipe.
Dibs.
Waffle fries?
Dibs.
Chicken sandwich?
Dibs.
Pickles?
Dibs.
You got it.